Hey everybody, Ryan Grant here and welcome back to the YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm going to briefly be going over with you guys how to stay consistent with your diet as a skinny man bulking up. Because as you know, the diet is like the fuel to the car, right? Without fuel, a car can't go anywhere, right? That's what I'm trying to say. And it's just like that with diet in the gym. If you don't have a good diet, and if you don't feed yourself a calorie surplus, and if you don't eat enough food, enough nutritious food, then your physique's not going to take off, you're not going to be able to go anywhere, and you're going to stay at square one, and that is not what we want for you, okay? So we are going to change that in this video through this one thing, right? And I'm basically just going to break down how to get discipline and how to build it up, because I feel like the discipline as a thing is talked about so much to the point where people think, basically, discipline refers to one's ability to perform consistent habits over a consistent, prolonged period of time, right? And people think that is what you got to do to be disciplined. Yeah, it is obviously because that is what discipline is, but you don't know how to build it up, right? And in terms of diet with the gym, in terms of bulking, in terms of calorie surplus, in terms of eating clean, right? This is what you've got to do, and this is a mindset that I really hope you adopt by the end of this video, because I've always done this subconsciously, and once this mindset got brought to my consciousness, it all just started making sense. It all just started clicking. Okay, so let's get into this video. So this mentality that you need to adopt is, in order to be disciplined, one also has to be undisciplined. Okay, I cannot express how important this is if you want to build discipline. Okay, because as I just said, right, discipline refers to one's ability to perform consistent habits over a long, prolonged period of time. Okay, when one is starting out, aka you, if you're a skinny man trying to bulk, then you're in the perfect place, because this is perfectly for you, right? If you're trying to eat in a calorie surplus every day, or if you're trying to eat clean foods in a calorie surplus, which is extremely difficult to start off with, if you start off doing that and you try to do that all the time, you're going to break, right? You're going to inevitably burn out because you haven't built up the sustainability to do that over a prolonged period of time. You haven't got enough experience with that. So, in order to do that, what you've got to do in order to build up that sustainability over the long term so you can be consistent and eat in a clean surplus consistently is be undisciplined to eventually be disciplined. Now, what do I mean by this? I don't mean just eating shit, not going to the gym, just sitting on your sofa all day, living a sedentary lifestyle. I do not mean that whatsoever, but I mean just slightly going off plan or off track once in a while, okay? And a really good rule that I want to bring into this is the 80-20 rule. It basically just refers to one must be doing the thing that they need to be doing 80% of the time, and the other 20% of the time they can slightly, just they can do whatever they want, they can slightly go off plan, etc., etc. And the beauty of this is that it helps you avoid burnout. And if one achieves a state of burnout, aka if you burn out from eating clean all the time, then that can completely send you to the other side of the scale, and then you'll be back in your shit routine, eating like shit, not consistent, all of that stuff. So in order to stay consistent, you do have to slightly be inconsistent, right? It's just the nature of the game, and this is what people don't talk about enough, in my personal opinion. So, for example, if you set out a plan on week one, just eat steak and eggs every day, chicken and rice every day, it's not going to happen for you, because you haven't built up the sustainability over time in order to actually do that consistently, right? And this is the period where you are building up that ability to sustain it over the long term. And in order to do that, you've got to be slightly undisciplined to be disciplined, right? So instead of having a meal plan where you eat steak and eggs every day, chicken and rice every day, sorry, hay fever, and you just cut out all of the pleasurable foods that you enjoyed, keep them in as that 20% of your diet every week. 80% you want to be eating clean because you want to be encouraging these habits, you want to adopt these habits. However, the 20% is to stop you from burning out and to actually just keep you afloat, right? When things get hard, or you've got that burger to look forward to on Friday, or that pizza to look forward to throughout the week, right? It's super, super important. And as a matter of fact, I have been doing this subconsciously. Well, I was doing this subconsciously for the past 4 years. I didn't necessarily hear about this mindset until not too long ago at all. And I've subconsciously been doing this the entire time. And I've gained 27 kilos, right? And this is basically how I've stayed consistent in word form. How I've been disciplined in word form. I've been disciplined because I've had the ability to turn off and be undisciplined at times, which is going to keep me disciplined in the long term. Okay, that is a little bit of a tongue twister, but I really hope it makes sense to you. So it basically just helps you avoid burnout and just stay consistent and build these consistent habits over a prolonged period of time for the long term. Okay, so I would highly suggest you adopt this 80-20 rule. Or in some cases you can even do 90-10, but however, in your position, I would just do 80%, eating what you need to eat, your protein shakes, your pasta, tuna, whatever, and your 20% can also be junk food or fast food or just a pleasurable meal of your choice. And what I want to make clear with you guys now, right, is when you're bulking, you have freedom to eat food. It's not like you've got to restrict your palate. And even though that's what you may have been told is the right thing to do, the reason you've been told that is because obesity is the biggest crisis in the world right now. So obviously, every news outlet, every store, every nutrition company, they're going to be telling you you've got to be eating clean. However, eating junk food, eating dirty food isn't bad for the bulk. And this is honestly how I would say 9.5 out of 10 people have bulked and gained weight successfully. They've had this junk food every now and then. They've adopted the 80-20 rule, and to be disciplined, they've also been undisciplined. Okay, so that is basically the end of this video. Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate your time. And as I was saying at the beginning of the video, if you are here now, I would absolutely love to invite you into my free community where, as I said, I'm helping 200 plus men bulk and gain muscle from skinny. So everyone's in the same situation. It's beautiful. Everyone's learning off each other. Everyone's growing with each other. And most importantly, you can get personal access to me. You can get help from me. There's also, I've got a one-to-one call in there, so we can hop on a call, get to know each other personally, discuss your problems, discuss your situation, and obviously guide you closer to where you need to be and just guide you in the right direction, give you that path. And basically just in there's everything you need to do in order to. And in this community, I have made sure that there is everything in there. And in this community, I've just made sure that everything in there is to help you find your feet, right? When you're at the start of your gym journey, you may feel a little bit confused, you may feel a little bit lost, you may not necessarily have direction, and you may lack those things. However, this is where the SlimToSculpt the light steps in. We help you find your feet, and we help you grow from there. Okay, so if you want to join the brotherhood, it's going to be the top link in the description. However, if you just want to stay on the YouTube, that is completely fine. Just drop a subscription if you want to stay around. I'd really appreciate that deeply, as I upload every Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday, so you don't miss an upload, and so I can help you even further. So without further ado, I will see you in the next video.